created everything. Look what a powerful being you are. You did these things, but now you're in a human body, you forget the power you have.
What you do is what the whole universe is doing at the place you call here and now. You are something the whole universe is doing in the same way that a wave is something that the whole ocean is doing.
You're doing it.
Doing what?
Using your imagination.
Welcome to Metamystics, where you don't know what you don't know. My name's Jonathan.
I'm Sean.
And tonight is Wonder Wisday for all of the mystics and the wizards and the spiritual people, even the religious people. We love you too. But welcome in, everybody. Tonight we have a very special guest, Cassandra VanZant. She's a favorite of this show, of Metamystics. You've made, I don't even know how many appearances now, but it's never going to be enough. And we said that we were going to start getting you on a little bit more often, and it was going to be once a month, and it's been a little while, so sorry about that, but hopefully we can make up for that a little bit tonight.
Of course, I'm always here.
Yes.
Well, we're glad to have you every single time, so thank you for joining us on this live.
Yes.
Oh, you're welcome.
Gonna be so much fun. Ashton said, "Sup guys, I'm back after binging old meta episodes." Ashton, my dude.
Welcome.
Welcome in, everybody. I'm sure that there's gonna be more joining over the course of the night as there usually is. But yeah, this is something that we've been looking forward to. I mean, it's been far too long since we've had Cassandra. But before we get going, Cassandra, do you want to tell the one out there kind of like what you've been up to lately?
Oh, I've been up to so much stuff. I have a show now on Gnostic TV, and it is called Psychic Underground. So if y'all want to go there and just look it up, you could see some episodes that I put on there so far. I think I have 4 right now, and I have like 5 more in the queue. So I am basically interviewing anyone that is psychic, into UFOs, into aliens, mystical, supernatural, astrologers, all of the cool, weird stuff that I love and you two love too.
Yes.
Because when I do that, then that means that there I am, Psychic Underground. That means that I can get this out to people who are interested in it. So I wanted to extend an invitation to anyone out there who is in some field, one way or the other. If you'd like to be on my show, please email me and let me know, and we can set something up. I'm also the founder of theelitepsychics.com. Now, don't look up the website because it's not up yet. My old one is up, but not the new one. And theelitepsychics.com is for psychics and people who do everything that we do, that you want an audience to come to, you want to give readings, you want to sell courses, have live streams, classes, meditations, whatever it is that you want to do. If you'd like to join the Elite Psychics, again, just let me know, and we'll see what's going on. And you can always reach me at my email, and that's Cassandra VanZant at outlook.com.
Perfect. We are going to have those links down in the show notes below for anybody that is interested in that. But I'm so happy that you're kind of building it. Like it's growing. People are starting to become a little bit more open-minded to this kind of stuff. I think that the old I mean, obviously you're gonna have some people that are kind of stuck in their ways and think that psychics are just another octopus arm of the devil. And then you're going to get more other people that are,
That's true.
And then, somebody will give them a message and they're like, I don't think the devil would give me a message like that. It doesn't necessarily make a whole lot of sense. I've had a few psychic readings in my day, a couple from you, as a matter of fact. And I mean, they are always spot on. It was just not this last time, but the time before that you came on, you recommended that there was going to, and I can't remember exactly the word.
Syndication.
Syndicate. Oh my God, Sean, where
I'm
did you get
psychic,
that one
dude.
from?
I'm psychic.
Jeez.
Yeah, I know.
But you
Sometimes.
recommended
Okay.
syndication, and that was one of the best things we could have done. Like, so we brought Metamystics over to, and we're playing it on the Cult of Conspiracy channel now as well. And ever since we've done that, it's been getting more listens, and a lot more people are getting interested in a lot of the information. And it's awesome because it literally, I don't know, 10 times our listenership, like overnight, which was really great. So if you're listening out there on the Cult of Conspiracy, we do have our own, standalone platform over at Metamystics. And actually, if you go sign up, or not even sign up, but if you just go over there on Spotify or Apple Podcast or wherever you're listening to it, you'll be able to get all the shows in a day in advance. So maybe you're listening to this on a Monday or a Friday. Well, you could have been listening to it yesterday. But that's just something that we offer because we want it to be a very inclusive group. I mean, it's all the one anyway. It's all one giant consciousness. Everybody that thinks that they're separate or think that they're judgmental, you're really just judging yourself anyway. Like that's kind of the truth of what we've been learning. But yeah, so it's pretty awesome. Yeah, we're really excited to have you back over here. Taylor said, "Hi, Cassandra. So glad you're back. Happy Wednesday, peeps."
Yes.
Hi, Taylor.
And then
Wednesday is finally here, and Cassandra's finally back. So,
Yeah,
all good
finally.
things. I know that's on me. That's on me. All right.
That's okay.
And then Pete said, Cassandra stays bringing that fire. I love
You. He does.
Britt said, so excited to see Cassandra. Yeah, this is,
Hi, Britt.
and you know what's funny?
What?
I don't even think it's a coincidence by any means, but every time we get you on, more people show up for the live than any other live.
Yep.
Wow.
I think they
That-
know what to expect.
Wonderful.
They love you.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
what it is.
wonderful.
Yeah.
And didn't I say something about not you, Jonathan? Didn't I say something about seeing someone in a suit, Sean?
Oh, it's been a
That
while.
sounds familiar. It's been a minute. That sounds
something
familiar.
about because I don't remember when I'm giving readings, but when they
Uh-huh.
bring it back to me, it's like, well, I'm supposed to say that for a reason. And I think I said something about seeing you in a suit, and
Uh-huh.
it pertained to work environment.
Right.
So I'm just reminding you for some reason.
Okay. All right. I'll keep an eye out, for the
Yeah, because
opportunities.
just allow it to happen. Because when they give me whatever it is that I said, what was it, been 6 months or so back?
Oh, yeah.
Then
Sorry about that.
Too long.
then I know it's from them. So keep that
Okay.
in mind and let me know, okay?
For sure. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you remember that. That's impressive.
Yeah. Now
I
that you
don't
say it.
remember things. They give it to me. And when
Oh,
they
my
give
goodness.
it to me, then I know I have to say it because when I give readings, and by the way, anyone can get a reading from me. Just contact me again at CassandraVanZant.com or at Outlook.com. So email me. I love to give readings. When I'm giving readings, I always let people know you might want to take notes because once it comes in, it's gone because it's not for me. It's
Mhm.
for the client. And unless they want me, and I'm talking about my people, my guides want me to remember it, or your guides, I
Mhm.
don't remember.
Wow.
That's something that I
That's
wanted to bring
impressive.
up a little bit, because you hear loads of people talking about how they are in communication with their guides. I mean, our buddy
Mhm.
Electro Nick is always talking about his Pleiadian guides. You're bringing up your guides, and many others have done it. And Super Marky, you know what I mean? Like it's a bunch of people talking about their guides. How if this is somebody's like first rodeo, how do you know
Yeah.
how to get in touch with your guides? Like, how do you know? Is there kind of like a vetting situation going on? Like, what is it? Like, how can you confirm at least, to yourself?
The first thing that I can say is in the beginning, I didn't even know what a guide was. I would hear them talking to me in my head, not audibly. And I couldn't figure out who these people were until my friend actually said, ask them. Who
Mhm.
is it that's talking to you? So I did. And when I got that, I knew that that was the guide because they said they were my guide.
Mhm.
And another thing that people may not realize if you're a newbie to this, your guides will never tell you what to do. They will never admonish you, make you feel small, nothing. They will never do that because I know some people say, my guides told me I was stupid or that I wasn't supposed to be doing this or how could I not listen? I said, that is not a guide. A guide does not do that.
Mhm.
So, whoever is coming in, whether you didn't call specifically for a guide or you just said, hey, I just need someone to come in, then someone just came in. So
Mhm.
you call for your guides, those who are here for your best and highest good to come in, and everybody else stay away. It's
Mm.
all about your intent and being very specific, especially if you're wanting to speak with your guides, wanting to speak with angels, ETs, people who have crossed over. Be
Now,
specific. That's the biggest thing I can um, tell everyone is be specific because it does make a difference. So that's how you know. And people ask me too, how can I tell the difference between my guides, my angels, my ETs? It's all energy frequency. So I know my guides. My guides are people who have lived on this earth and they've completed all their lessons and they've gone back and they get the choice they don't want to come back, so they're going to come and be assigned to someone and say, yes, I will help you. So you feel that energy from that person, quote unquote. My angels feel totally different. Their energy is very light, very sweet, very soft. And my ETs are just a matter of fact.
Mhm.
They're no personality. Every once in a while, I get a chuckle because of maybe something I've asked, but they're very matter of fact and not a whole lot of emotion. They're just, hey, you ask a question, you'll get an answer, and that answer will be very straight. And hello, and they will
Mm.
also not ever, any of these people will never admonish you in any way.
It
That's
just out of
probably more likely your ego or your shadow self, if nothing else, right?
yeah.
Right, right. Or you could have brought in someone because you weren't specific about who you wanted to come in.
Oh.
Because you could say, hey, I just want to speak to someone
Mhm.
on the other side.
Yep.
Don't ever do that. Okay.
Right.
Well, I did
Because
that
That's
one
when you get
time
a
and
cat being,
I was about to
you
say
know?
Sekhmet showed up, but
yeah,
um,
because when you say that, anyone can be floating around just waiting for an invitation.
Mhm.
And it's like, oh, they said they wanted anyone, so here I come.
Mhm. And I think I wanted to ask you something, and I don't know if we've asked you this before, but it is an audible, response that you're getting. Like, it's almost like as if you actually do hear them.
No, I hear them in my mind. I
Okay.
don't
so
hear it outside.
it comes in the form of like your own thoughts almost, right?
Yeah, but they're not my thoughts. So
Right.
I can definitely tell the difference. So that's the clairaudient.
Mhm.
So you hear clearly.
Right.
Um, Sometimes I can get audible. I don't like it because it catches me off guard.
Probably kind of scary.
What does that
Eh,
sound like? Just out of curiosity, because I
It's
feel like I've
usually
go
very
ahead.
close to the ear,
Uh-huh.
and it's sometimes it's a loud whisper, is how I
Oh,
can
right.
describe it. But it's
Okay.
very close to the ear. So, like, they don't think that I can hear them if they're standing over there. So they get very
Mhm.
close
Right.
and they'll say my name. And, it's like Cassandra. And
Right. Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, talk to me in here, not here. So,
Right. Exactly. I think that's hard for me to discern without, having both experiences, because I can imagine what a song sounds like, and so is that what you're saying? If you imagine a certain song, that's what you're hearing? and not so much oh, like I just heard something, whether it's outside of you or into your
Oh
ear.
yeah, yeah, I definitely know the discernment. You could definitely tell whether, when they're speaking to me, it's the mind to mind communication.
Hmm.
So I'm there and they're coming in and they're speaking to me. So I had that when I had my near death. When I was gone, I connected with all these people there, and it's all telepathic.
Hmm.
That's the mind to mind. And when I came back, I still had that connection open. So when they're speaking to me, I could speak back to them. I mean, we're having a full blown conversation without
Uh,
opening my mouth.
mm,
So I carry on that, and especially like if I'm giving readings, I let people know I'll be saying they're saying this or they're saying that, because sometimes I don't know who's speaking, but I know that they're there for their best and highest good.
hmm.
And I will say, they're saying this, they're saying that, because it's not coming from me, it's coming from whoever's there. And
Right.
I'm relaying it.
So
Right.
I
That's what's
guess
happening.
for me, I always I guess I confuse, so sometimes I feel like I'm getting a message maybe from my higher self. I kind of just accept that, those
Mhm.
weird downloads of information that just come up out of nowhere. I accept that it's like from my higher self. Now, how am I to be able to discern what's coming from my higher self and what's from a guide? I think that's where I get hung up at.
Mm.
Okay. Well, what do you consider a download? And
Uh
what do you consider a message?
like a bit of information that I hadn't thought about before that kind of blows me out the water.
Okay. So it's a sudden burst of information.
Yeah, like seemingly out of
That,
nowhere.
right. That's a download. When you're speaking with your guides, it's a conversation.
Wow.
Okay, all right. And the only thing that I could even imagine to compare it to, just from a personal standpoint, is the instance that I had with on mushrooms with Elohim. Like
Mhm.
I know that that was a back and forth. Like I was discernible. Like I could hear, and the voices sounded different. Like
Right.
I mean, it was like a walkie-talkie communication. Like that's
Mhm.
what it felt like. Like if a walkie-talkie was in my brain and my voice was also in my brain, but then there was this other voice that there was something else going on. And I guess I'm
Yeah.
kind of just like waiting for that to happen again, but I feel like I would probably have to just do mushrooms every time if I want to, do that, right?
You could, because you've experienced it that way, and in a way it was easier than just doing the natural way. Okay, and the natural way is just to speak to them. And when I'm teaching people how to do this, so I teach them how to talk to their guides and um, whatever else it is that they want. What I first have them do is write. So I have them write on a piece of paper a question they want to know. And then I have them immediately write down the answer that they get, no matter how weird it is or, jumbled or whatever. And then I'll say, ask your guide their name. Don't think about it, just do it. And when they do that, of course, they stop for a minute because the ego gets in the way and they say, this sounds really stupid. It's like, just say it. Because what they're doing is they're communicating and they're seeing it with their own eyes. So when you can see it with your own eyes and it's coming out your own hand, then you can graduate to the telepathic, because everything that's coming to you from them, you're going to know that it's not from you, because there's certain things that you can ask and you would never know.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So the more you get used to it and you go, oh, okay, that is my guide. That is, my ET. That is my angel. That is Uncle Bob. I mean, whoever. Then once you start getting really, really used to it, you put the pencil down, you put the paper away, and you just start speaking in your mind.
Sean, what is it with
Wow.
these psychics bringing up Bob, dude?
I know. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is.
We
I was
had
going to say, who is Uncle Bob?
well, we
Oh,
had
Bob.
another psychic come on the show a few months ago, and then recently again, maybe a month ago. She's turned into one of our friends. Very nice person. She lives like out this way too, and
Okay.
and she was receiving some kind of communication, and we gave her nothing. Like there was literally nothing at all given. And she goes, "Yeah, I'm talking to this. You know what? How did she describe him, Sean?"
I want to say actually she was really explaining to us how she does it, and she was just saying random words that came to her mind without thinking about it, and it was just like, okay, so Bob and this and that, and so just in showing us kind of her method, she was hitting on everything that the Bob that I know, and so that's how that
Okay.
came about. It was like
Like,
almost like she wasn't even trying, like she was
yeah.
already being fed the information just by showing us her method.
It was
Oh
crazy.
yeah,
was
too.
very
I mean,
that's the way
fascinating.
it works.
she was able to describe like he had a scar on his chest and he had one
Mhm.
singular tattoo and he was a working man and like the
Mhm.
craziest, like so many like precise
a lot.
details. It was spooky actually, kind of.
Mhm. Yeah, it
Shout
was
out to Bob.
definitely
Was
something else.
was he your uncle?
No,
I
no, he
mean, is
was
it anyone's
my
uncle?
stepdad or my dad. I guess I can say that, you know. So
Okay.
and
Okay.
of course, you know, he passed away of he got sick, he had throat cancer, and there was just so many things that she said that was just like so spot on.
Mhm.
I just can't imagine how that even happened because I wasn't expecting
Yeah.
it, you know. So yeah,
Well,
it blew me away.
when you least expect, but see, they know that whoever's here as your guest, they know that they're going to show up, and they also know that person can get a message to
Mhm.
whomever. So they're like 10 steps ahead of us.
Right.
And when it's time to go on the show, okay, I could speak through her and she won't know why, because I've said this before. It's like, wait a minute, where did that come from? Because I know it wasn't from me.
Mhm.
Well, they seem
And
to be like
that's how I know it's from someone else.
they seem like the timings are so coincidental, dare I say, synchronistic, that it's almost like the messages are so perfect exactly for that moment. Like like I would imagine that they would have to exist outside of time, right? Like if I don't know if we're talking to multidimensional beings or beings that live completely out of the paradigm of dimensions in general. What do you think it is?
It could be all the above, but what I don't um when I'm talking to, whoever, um, they're in our dimension. So they lower themselves to
Mhm.
come to us to speak to us, because otherwise it's like I'd have to go into major meditation to
Mhm.
reach their level and to get their answers. So they come to us.
Right.
It seems like we talked about that a few months ago as far as the red shift and the blue shift, which is really
Mhm.
crazy. You know, just as far as lowering your vibration, and in order for you to, well, they would have to lower their vibration if they want to communicate with us, and we would have to higher our vibration. And
Yeah,
like seemingly you meet somewhere in the middle. You know, maybe you're not necessarily meeting them in the eighth dimension, but you know, they're not
right,
meeting you in the third. You know, it seems
right.
like there's some kind of like meeting ground.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah, there is, but I feel it's all on their part where they're going to meet you, because we don't I mean, we can go to different dimensions, but if we're going for answers for us, I there's a lot of meditation that you can do to get you to that level. I remember doing really, really deep meditations, um, and going into the astral plane and seeing one of my guides there, and I spoke to her. So
Wow.
I was on her level, but
Mhm.
I had to go into that deep meditation in order to get there. And then
Oh
when I
wow.
came back, it's like, wow, this place really, kind of low vibes here, but you know, I was able to see this person and she gave me a message, and I basically called her a liar, but she was correct. So
Gave you a
I
message you
needed
didn't
to
really
go there.
like, huh?
No, I didn't like it. No.
Yeah.
I
No.
wonder what you look like to them, you know, on their plane of existence when you show up. You know, you show up and you look like an orb. You know what I mean? Who knows?
You know, I never thought about that. But I do know that when I died, what the way I looked was just like myself, but in a an ethereal body. So it
Mhm.
was like a Casper the Ghost type
Right.
of of body.
Mhm.
Um, it was like the outline and everything inside was, you know, ethereal.
Right.
So that's how I looked when I was there. But then again, that was my spirit that had gone.
Almost like a hologram of sorts.
Yes. Yeah. I just remember it was very freeing. So when we meditate, we also leave our bodies. We don't have to die to do that. When we meditate, we leave our bodies.
Mhm.
And that's how we can go to the higher dimensions, because you know this dense body here, I don't know, I'm not saying no one can go to the higher dimensions in this body, but I just know it's a lot easier in the ethereal.
Right. Almost
That
like
makes
a
sense.
astral projection of sorts. Or
Oh
remote view.
yes.
Yeah, it seems like that. You know, it's strange too. We just the episode that we did the other day, we did a meditation. I think it was 963 hertz meditation or something along those
Hmm.
lines. And I didn't really like have anywhere that I was trying to guide my mind. I just let go. Like my mind was trying to generate certain thoughts that I didn't, you know, not good, not bad, just whatever thoughts, you know. And I was like, no, I just want to cancel that. I want to set myself free, like let the dog off the leash, see what happens, right?
Right.
And whenever I did that, I felt myself started to like I was going through some kind of hallway or elevator or something like that. Like if actually the best way I can like relay that would be like a you ever see like an Amtrak, you know, like the trains and they're going through the tunnel like that. That's kind of like what it
Right.
felt like. And then it started to like go on a ramp upward and immediately I was like in this place where it was like super vibrant and there seemed to be like a lot of clouds and everything like that. And I'm like, dude, is this like am I making this up right now? Like you got to question yourself like that, you know what I mean? But I wasn't trying to guide it there at all. And I get there and Jesus emerges from the clouds, right? And he has like he calls this dove, like a white bird, right to his hands, and he's holding it like this, right? Like just holding it in his hands, right? And then I don't know, maybe he whispered to it or something like that, and the bird flew away. He just let it go, and he just stared was staring at me, right? And I was like, but it was like a nice kind of. It wasn't like a glare or anything. It was kind of like a just wait, just hold on. The bird comes back, and he takes that bird and he puts it into my chest, and I was like, I don't know what that means, you know, and I don't know dove symbolism or anything like that. Like I'm not, we're baby mystics over here. We don't know
Yeah.
exactly
Yeah.
all the things and stuff.
Yeah.
And so I went and looked it up, and what the dove represents is the spirit, right? Like
Mhm.
it's
Yeah.
the Holy Spirit, like of all spirits, right?
Right.
And I was just like, oh my God, what is going on, you know?
Mhm.
And to me that was kind of like confirmation for the episode we had just done, because we were talking
Mhm.
about the Gnostics and the Cathars and stuff like that, you know. And we were talking about
Gospel of Thomas.
Gospel of Thomas, right, with the Nag Hammadi and stuff like that. And I don't know, maybe that was just kind of my confirmation, at least on a personal level, that maybe we were interpreting it the correct way. Is kind of how I took it. But what do you
Well,
think about that?
when you were saying it, it's the first thing that I got was when you saw the dove, that was you.
Oh, that was me.
Mm.
Hmm.
What does that
Wow.
mean?
Well, if you notice that he had the dove and then it flew away somewhere and it came back and then he put it inside of you, I feel that that was part of you, that pure part that is connected to the Christ-like energy.
Mm,
So when that dove, which was part of you, was put back in you, you were given something special. That's what I get.
I'm not gonna lie. Like whenever it happened, I felt like even though I didn't know what it meant, I almost felt unworthy. You know, like
Well,
something like that
yeah,
happens. You're like, I don't know
yeah.
if I'm the one that should be receiving stuff like that. You know, like,
It's
um,
the ones who don't feel worthy that are the more worthy.
oh well,
hmm.
I guess I did it right then.
Go, man. You did it.
Well, I feel you were given something very special. So it I guess we could just say it was kind of a piece of the puzzle that was given to you for this time.
I'll take it.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it'll start to
You'll
uncover.
take it?
Yeah, why not?
I mean, it
But
was a pretty mystical experience. I mean,
Oh,
from what he
sure.
was explaining, I was like, oh my
yeah, it's
God.
like, you know, and we have like some wild meditations from time to time, but not like that. Like that
Mhm.
seemed like something extra. And that's the only reason why I brought it up. But yeah, it's I don't know. This what a strange dream we are witnessing, I feel like, you know. But yeah, just get back over to the chat. I want to keep everybody still involved over here. Ashton said, Cassandra, what about context? Sometimes my earthly self/ego takes offense to whatever message I get, and it could take me months or years to finally understand what they meant, usually in the form of a life lesson. Good question.
Okay, and when you let your ego take over and tell you that whatever it is that you heard, that's the life lesson right then and there. Because the ego will try to take away the knowing or whatever it is that you're trying to learn. It will take away the knowing by replacing it with fear and saying, no, that's not it. That's not it. And then okay. And then you ignore what it was that you learned. And then you say later on, it comes back, as a life lesson. Well, they're all life lessons, but if you can get what you get, dismiss the ego, and say, I'm going to do it like this. I'm going to listen to what it is that I was told or that I heard. And for right now, that's what I'm going to do because I don't want to do it the hard way. I want to do it the easy way. When we listen to that ego, the ego is there to keep us safe. Ego doesn't want us to change, in any way, shape, or form. So that's not what we're here for. We're not here to stay in the same comfortable rut. So when you get these messages and you hear that ego, which always deflates, so the ego will deflate, will try to scare you, will bring back old memories. Then that way you know that that's the ego. So if you know that's the ego, then you just say, hey, thanks for your input, but I'm going to listen to what it is I've learned or what I hear. That's the easiest way because if you listen to your ego and then you try to listen to your guides, if you're not aware, your ego will take over every time.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Would
Keep
you
you in
say
the
that
known.
would you say that meditation is a good way to be able to kind of build that divide within yourself? Or like how would you go about discerning the two?
Well, if you're meditating, your ego's going to come up anyway when you're meditating because unless you've, disciplined yourself enough, the ego comes up and starts, it's the uh I call it the dry cleaner rack where it just goes round and round and round and round and it brings up all these things except what you don't want it to bring up, which is nothing. So when you get into that and the ego starts um trying to take over, if you can recognize that it's the ego and allow it to just go through your mind, then you can grasp that what you're in meditation for. So meditation is just to clear your mind. Your answers come to you. You don't seek them. They come to you. And you tell the ego, thanks for your help, but I need you to be quiet right now.
Mhm.
There's a thing about taking control, because we're here. No one else can take control of us unless we allow it. And that includes our ego. So our ego has gotten us into a lot of trouble. It's kept us in a lot of comfortable ruts. But when we recognize it, there's no escaping it. We have our ego, it's part of us. But we can recognize it and say, thanks for whatever it is you're trying to do, but I need you to be quiet now. When you can do that and master it, then it's going to be more quiet, and you'll be able to get the answers that you want, or the feelings that you want, or whatever it is that you're going into meditation for. Because at night, if I'm lying in bed, I'll say, okay, I'll be talking to my guides. When I wake up, I want the answer to this question. So I'm not fighting my ego at night. I'm sleeping, and I know that when I wake up, I'll have the answer to my question.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I feel like my ego is like it's greedy, it's selfish, it's impatient, it's all the things that you're trying to dissolve within meditation, you know? Like at least for me
No,
anyway.
it's just disguising itself as that, because greedy, what else did you say? It was greedy, it's
Selfish,
selfish.
yeah, not patient at all.
Okay, so all those forms are about fear. They're disguised as greedy, selfish, impatient. That's fear.
Get up out of me, fear.
Be gone, fear.
That's what I mean. So the ego's not going to go, oh, I'm so afraid, I'm so afraid. It's going to say, oh, you don't want to do that. Oh, they're not that great. Oh, well, I
Right.
don't know. It's
Mhm.
not going to say I'm afraid. Because if it says I'm afraid, then you're going to go, oh, well, then should I be afraid of it? What's going on? It takes it tries to keep you safe, but it disguises these things through different emotions that we feel. But it's all one thing, and the only one thing is fear.
Basically
Fear of.
defense mechanisms then at that point.
Exactly. It's fear. Big the ego, what little I know of what I've heard, it was designed for the fight or flight. Okay. We're not around dinosaurs anymore, so we don't have to worry about if we're going to fight it or if we're going to run away. So that's what the ego is all about. It's about saying, okay, we're going to keep safe because we're going to fight it, or we're going to run like hell. And when we run, it's fear. So when we fight it, I mean, if I had a dinosaur, I wouldn't fight it. That wouldn't even be a choice. It would always be flight. So when you're looking at it like that, that's the ego's job. And it does a very good job in some of our lives. But if we can stop and recognize it right then and there and say, I don't know that this is going to be a terrible move. I don't know that this is going to be a terrible relationship. I don't know if getting divorced is going to be the worst thing in my life. I don't know if I move, it's going to be the worst thing in my life. You don't know that yet. But the ego is trying to keep you in that place of not doing anything. And that means fear. So it's keeping you in fear.
Okay,
Mm.
so any decision made out of fear, be gone.
Right. And it will always keep you back. And you'll always, second guess yourself. The last thing that you want in your life is, woulda, coulda, shoulda.
Hmm.
You don't want that. You don't want to second guess yourself. That's why when you could say to the ego, be quiet for a minute because I need to feel it.
Hmm.
Is it right for me? You feel it. You don't think it. The ego's the brain. It's the thought process. What you're looking at is how do I feel about it? So you go into your solar plexus, your intuition. How do I feel about doing this? And I'm telling you, the easiest way to do this is just place your hand on your solar plexus, ask the question, and like, should I move? And if, or to, Arizona or whatever, should I move to Arizona? Put your hand on your solar plexus. And if it jumps, that's a no. If it's very calm, that's a yes.
Interesting.
Very simple to do. Anyone can do it.
Oh, wow. Yeah, we need to learn as many of these tricks of the trade as we possibly can. We're just sponges for your information, Cassandra.
Just soaking that in, huh?
Yeah. Nick said, you know what? Okay. Nick said, love you guys, but I haven't really enjoyed the past meta episodes the past month or two. When can we get back to the past life sessions? Get into the science of light and what it really means for us. Love you, though. That's funny because literally me and Sean were just talking about it last night, and we were trying to figure out when I could hypnotize him to send him back to a past life. By the way, I mean, anybody feel free to reach out for a past life regression. You can schedule that and email us at metamystics@yahoo.com and set it up over there if you're interested in. We don't have to, put it out as a show and broadcast it. That's just kind of like something you can if you want to, but if you want it just to be a personal thing for you, totally fine too. So yeah, we're definitely going to be getting back to that. I'm actually gonna wait until because I'm going to see Sean here in like less than a month, and whenever I do, we're gonna do the past life regression in person. And that should be fun because I've never done it in person with him. So
Yeah, and I'd love to get you one if at all possible. If we can get a good old McClucky
I know
on here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That'd be great.
Yeah, maybe I'll try and set that up soon. Yeah, thanks, Nick. We appreciate that. Britt said, my main guide reached out to me and said his name just as I was waking up from sleep. Just simply said, my name is ... So I didn't even know what that even was at the time, but I figured it out a couple of months later. What do you think about that, Cassandra?
You could have asked while when you got up. You say, okay, what was your name again? And then write it down because you'll get it. It will come through. But I'm glad that you found out a couple of months later, but there's quicker ways to do it. And that's just I mean, seriously, when you write these things out, you ask the question, write out the answer. You'll be surprised at how fast it goes and how quickly you can, learn what you want.
Ashton said, mine gave me an entire language as a download just to give me their name. That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Taylor said,
and what was their name after that?
Oh, yeah, I'm curious. Yeah, put that down in the chat there, Ashton. Taylor said, do they use that to talk to you as well or just the name? Asking to Ashton there. Yeah, would love to hear about that. Ashton said, that's how they came to me. They were a bunch of light beings in my room. Imagine that.
Whoa.
Let's go, dude.
Jealous.
I know. How awesome is that?
Yeah.
Super Marky said, Holy Spirit, or Holy Ghost, Holy Spirit, Sophia. Sophia getting a shout out. All right. Ashton said, Matthew 10:16, Jonathan. So I looked it up to see what that says. And it says,
what is that?
Matthew 10:16 states that Jesus sends his disciples out like sheep among wolves, advising them to be wise as serpents and innocent as doves.
Oh, shit.
It says this verse emphasizes the need for both shrewdness and purity in navigating a hostile world. I like it. All right. Britt said, I had a dream a few weeks ago where I had a white light emanating from me that seemed to start from my heart and it expanded to fill the whole room I was in, to where it was so bright you couldn't see anyone or anything in the room. What
Damn.
is that, Cassandra?
How cool. Well, obviously it was a heart chakra thing. Um, I'm not sure as far as the context goes, but I think you were being shown something. Um, Obviously the white light, but more, if you could sit back there and say, what was it or ask yourself, what was it I was looking for? What was I searching for? What, question did I want answered? And what they say is a picture is worth 1,000 words. So to have
Mhm.
that white light coming from you, ask yourself if you were searching or seeking, and then I think you'll get your answer.
It
But
almost seems as
I
though that it's like anytime you get like a pure, like almost blinding white light, that it's outside of polarity at that point, right? Like it has something that transcends polarity.
well, yeah, when I went to meet God, when I was going through the tunnel, that white light that I seen was something you couldn't describe, because you can't just say it was white, because it wasn't. You can't say it was brilliant white, because it was more than that. So
Mm.
yeah, it is a different energy, different color, different everything. So again, ask yourself what you are seeking or asking, and then see if that white light coming out of your heart chakra was their way of showing instead of telling.
Interesting. That's awesome. Discernment, or Supermarket rather, said discernment and sovereignty. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I think that that's about right as far as being able to determine, like, who your guides and higher self and ego and all that stuff was, I think.
Oh
Um,
yeah, yeah. The sovereignty, I like that. Um, because you know the difference. You're discerning the difference between a lower energy and a higher energy. So
um,
you don't want your own sovereignty to be in jeopardy by consorting with a lower energy.
that makes sense.
Makes sense. Yep.
Yeah. Ashton said, thanks, Cassandra. That resonates because I've been learning how to speak their language and they've been learning how to speak mine. And then he said, that sounds like the Jungian shadow, talking about the ego itself, I think.
Hmm.
Mm.
Man, that is so interesting. I don't want to say I'm jealous. I'm happy that everybody is having, their own experiences. And
Yeah.
that's what I think. Like, whenever certain people say that, like, well, what you're seeing is a deception, it's just an illusion, that's just your mind. I'm like, dude, I feel like we're turning off a part of ourselves that literally, like, that is what we are. Because if you think
Mhm.
about
Right.
it, we don't remember where we were before this. We don't know exactly where we're going after it. You can have intuitive and faith and all that kind of stuff. But like for people to be so sure to say that anything that is happening naturally to the human mind could be, inherently evil, I'm like, I don't know, because that doesn't align with most people's experiences. Usually these experiences are like profound,
Mhm.
and you never forget them.
Yeah, and I think these mystical experiences or whatever it is, I mean, meditation, whether it's a positive type of feeling or experience or a negative one, I feel like either way, it's something that you needed to experience in some
Hmm.
form or fashion. You're going to get something out of that, and if it is something bad, then it only gives you the uh, ability to transmute something, and look at it a different way. Is all.
And if you look at it, we as humans with that spirit inside of us, we're mystical, we're magical. So the things that we see, the things that open up for us, it's natural,
Hmm.
because this is who we are. If we knew how magical we were and the things that, the thoughts, okay, be careful what you think.
Hmm.
Um, Good, bad, or indifferent, because you're going to bring it to you. That's being magical. So
Yeah, it
think of
sounds like it.
yourself as magical and mystical, And that's where you get that sovereignty also. You're not just, a little human putting around here on earth. You are waking up and seeing who you really are. And that's the fun part of it. When somebody finally gets it and the light bulb goes off, it's like, oh my gosh, look at who I am.
Mm-hmm.
Because we are more than we've been told. And we've been told by people who want to control us that we can't do certain things, because if we did, then they wouldn't be able to control us.
Yeah, taking away the tools essentially.
Right. So that's been conditioned from eons. You can't do that. Look what they did to the supposed witches.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and
Okay,
even going
so
back farther than that too, what we were
oh
learning,
yes.
we were learning that the old emperors of Rome, before they started to take up Christianity over there, that they had certain people that were worshiping the emperor's genius, like just
Yeah.
their genius or their demon or whatever, their higher
Higher
self
self.
or whatever, right? Like they were literally worshipped. I mean, there were cults that formed as a result of that, and all of
Mhm.
their coinage always had a sun right behind their head, and it was almost like mystifying them. And
Right.
so it's not anything new. And that's like, I kind of have an issue with even just the term new age, because I'm like,
Yeah.
none of it's new, like it
Right.
all seems to go back like a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Britt said that makes me think of functional kinesiology that uses muscle testing to figure out what's going on in your body. Just yesterday, I was seeing videos on it, and and then she's okay. So the spirit said his name. She just didn't list it. So,
Ah,
and then
nice.
Ashton said, Jonathan, you probably don't remember, but I didn't actually see a past life, just visions from my current life during our session. But within the last year, a few past life memories from different lives all came back to me. I think you at least helped me unbury something that was heavily repressed.
Mm.
Hey.
That is definitely something that can happen. After getting my regression, I felt like I was dreaming more. I felt like just all these different things these mystical experiences started happening. I think it opens something, or at least connects something within your mind to allow these things to happen. For
Yeah, it
sure.
unlocked it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it does seem like there's an unlocking going on, because you're almost like literally going up to a door that you didn't even, maybe you thought that it was always there kind of in the background, but you never chose to really go through that door or even peer into that door, because
Mhm.
how's it going to help me in this reality, just looking at it from the animal mind? But
Yeah.
like whenever you're in that state of mind, in that state of being, whether you're in another dimension or just in the mind realm or whatever, it's like, man, there's so much stuff in there that you can just go and unlock. And I think that that's actually where like when people refer to the Akashic records, dude, I think that
Yes.
that's all in there. Like,
Mhm.
and it used to sound like it. I'm not gonna lie. A couple years ago, that used to sound crazy to me. Like people talking about the Akashic records, I'm like, oh, okay, all right. What you went for a rocket ride on the Arcturian space flight too. It's like, but the more you really pay attention to it and listen to it and like almost experience a little bit for yourself, you're like, all right, well, all the people that I thought was crazy are like more on it than I am. So I guess I
Right.
need to catch up to them. It
And it's
feels
funny
like.
because it's just as your understanding evolves, like as far as whenever someone would say God, I would think of what most people would think of God, that image of God. And like, I'm like, I don't know, the whole worshiping thing. And it kind of just put a bad taste in my mouth. But then I have this other understanding of what a God could be, and the fact that it could just be everything. It could be Cassandra, Kyle, it could be Brett, it could be just everything that is, and that's God. And so it's just depending on the evolution of your understanding of these things.
What do you think about the idea of pantheism, that everything is kind of just like an emanation of God? That's something that we've kind of been playing around with a little bit, and like the first time that I really looked into it was we had our boy Banks on the show, Optimistic
Yes,
Banks,
love them.
and he said it, and it kind of like it threw a wrench into the gears of my life. Like it really made me just question everything. And then after a while, after sitting with it for a few months, I'm like, yeah, of course. Of course, that's what's
Yep.
going on. And we kind of had like a decent idea about it, early on. That's why we called everybody the one, because we're like, hey, everything's one anyway. But like,
Mhm.
but taking it literally is like a completely different paradigm shift, I just love looking
Right.
at life like that.
And then you couple that with the possibility, or probably, I would say that the universe is eternal, like it always has been, and so it's like what you would say about God as well. Like God has always existed, and so instead of God making everything, it just is because it always has been. I don't know. That's kind of what I've been thinking about.
Right, right.
Right.
Super Marky said, Cassandra, when you went to meet God, did you experience the light tunnel everyone talks about?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. But I had gone through a green tunnel before. So I went through a green tunnel and I later found out that was a healing tunnel. And when I went through that and got out at the end, then that's when I saw the light and I knew I needed to go toward it. So I did. And I started just going up and it got bigger and brighter. And oh, yes, I went into that God energy also. So I was in the light. And that's when I spoke with God. And God was in energy. And that again, you can't describe this brilliant white light because there's no words for it. But yes, I did.
So,
So
like,
interesting. Oh, my bad. I didn't mean to cut you off. But whenever people say that, like a certain light, the bright light is, you can't put words to it. That is really telling you something. That really means something,
Oh,
because if you
you
look at a white light,
can't.
you could just say, oh, it's a white light. But if you can't even put
No,
words to that, then you just know that it was more than just seeing something. It was absolutely being
me.
immersed in it and feeling it.
It was alive, if
whoa,
that
Huh.
makes sense.
wow.
Yeah.
And the light was alive. Um, and when I look at it, it's this it's it's like fog but thicker, and it's like an energy field, but it was alive.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. So, like, would you say that at least your best interpretation of what God is or does or whatever is like that it more closely aligns with what people call the source?
Yeah, definitely. I didn't realize because I'd been brought up and most everyone is God's old man sitting on a throne. Um, no, this energy, it definitely the source. And I know when I wrote one of my first books, it's 2012, Coming Out of the Coma. In it was all channeled, so I wrote it very quickly, but in it there was the words that we are sparks off of God.
Mm.
So we are gods. So when we're sparks off of, and you were talking about who is God like, and where's this divinity? Well, we are because we're sparks.
Oh
And
man.
God wanted us to go. And some people went to off world, off planet. Some people decided to come here. And one of the reasons that this happened was so we could experience everything.
Mhm.
And those of us who were lucky or unlucky enough or stupid enough or smart enough to say, hey, I want to go to Earth to experience things there. We experience a lot here, but
Mhm.
that's okay because we chose it.
Yeah, it seems heavy, to pull a Marty McFly, you know.
There's that word again, heavy.
There's that way. Is everything heavy in the future? Um
Something about Earth's gravitational pull. I don't know.
Benjamin said, a few weeks ago, I fell asleep briefly on my lunch break, possibly the in between stage before sleep. I didn't visually see anything, but I heard a voice like nothing I've heard before. Not evil, but not necessarily good either. More of a man's voice. It had power for sure. It was surprised and seemed humored when I didn't know its name. Thoughts, if any, Cassandra?
Wow.
I feel that was a ghost, a spirit
Oh,
that was hanging around.
Whoa. Oh man. All right. Well, you know, and I'm gonna be real with you.
Because when we're in that in between state, that's when the veil is away. And we can, have you ever just lain in bed and you're just waking up, but you barely try to open your eyes, and it's like you're starting to see, like you're trying to everything to come back, but it kind of separates.
hmm
That's what we're talking about, that in between thing. And yeah, you could start seeing things in that state by just lying in bed and closing your eyes and opening them just a little bit. You could start seeing that parallel reality, which is right next to us. So when that person was in that sleep state, but in between sleeping and waking, then that's when he could hear and know that that person was there, because that was a spirit.
Wow. I feel like that's where I personally have most of my mystical experiences. Is if I just lay there long enough, like with the intention to not move, find a comfortable position, of course, but lay there,
Right,
be patient, and just
right.
lay there until like you'll feel it. Your body will just get completely relaxed. Like that's when okay, my body's asleep, but I'm fully
Yes.
consciously aware. And all of a sudden, and for me, this is what happens to me. I don't know if anybody has ever experienced this. I know I've mentioned it before, but all of a sudden I'll see like this weird flicker or some weird thing happen. And then all of a
Hmm.
sudden what I am seeing is, I mean, it's still darkness, but it's just this sense of somewhere different.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
it's kind of hard to explain, but that was when I think this happened just last night or the night before. And so I was like, all right, well, I'm in this place, and my body's asleep. Let me ask about my guides. Like I just said, are my guides here? And I shit you not, there was like this extra bit of light, even though my room was, not lit at all. It was the same, nothing changed within my bedroom. But there
Hmm.
was this like little bit of, I don't know, illumination, but just ever so slightly and just enough for me to notice. And so then I said, oh, so these are my guides, or this is my guide, or however I said it. And then I got like this weird, like, I don't know, it was like a red flash, or I don't know, it's very strange, but it seemed to be just in one side, like on my right eye, and it wasn't startling. It was just like, phew, and I'm like, oh, okay. So like, I feel like there's just so much that can be said getting into that state of mind when you fall into that. I'm almost asleep, but I'm still consciously aware. My body's asleep, but I'm awake. And you just, you put yourself out there and you ask, then all of a sudden things start to happen. And so
Right.
that's the place that I like to go to.
It's almost
And to
like
be honest with you, I almost can't go to sleep without having something like that. Like I don't go to sleep like a normal person anymore, or at least how I used to, whatever normal is,
Uh-huh.
you know.
it's like
Well,
dissolving the
utilize it.
logical state, I think.
hmm Yeah.
I'm sorry,
So,
Cassandra, what were you gonna say?
Sean, just utilize that.
hmm
So if you know you always go to sleep with that,
hmm
then s- speak to your guide, or ask them to give you some kind of sign, or have them speak to you,
hmm
and put your parameters. You can't scare me. You can't do this, you can't do that. And I just want to know, is this you? Is this my guide? Whoever is here for my best and highest good. So you know that you're protecting yourself,
hmm
but utilize it. Don't just, lie there and think about it. Do something more.
hmm
Because when you do that, that's when everything starts opening up more, because they're very, very patient with us. our guides and angels and everyone, they have to be patient with us. So they can show up like that every single night, and they're sitting there and they're wondering, when is he going to ask us about who we are or what we can do? And they'll be like that until you say, okay, tell me more.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
that's where I feel that you might actually get, a kick out of communicating.
Yeah, and well, that's what I was telling Jonathan earlier today. I said I felt like last night I was almost doing some sort of divination. Like I felt like I could just ask a question and possibly get an answer, you know. And
Right.
it was strange because I actually felt like at one point, I could hear something coming in. Like I heard. That's why I asked you earlier if it was something audible that you could hear, because I felt like it was this weird thing. Like I was so relaxed and just in this deep relaxation. All of a sudden, I could hear like a voice or something, but it sounded almost like as if they were talking through some sort of instrument or like a whistle or a flute. It almost sounded like I don't know. I can't even explain what that sound is,
Let's
but
go.
Mhm.
it at first it just sounded like nonsense. Like it wasn't even words. It was just more just sound or noise. And then there was a time where it was like it said a word or two, but I couldn't really make it out. But I could definitely tell it was something trying to communicate. And so, yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna definitely get into that more and see what else I can get from it because I feel like I said, I can't just lay down and go to sleep anymore. Every time I go to lay down, it's like I'm too consciously aware, but I'm tired, and then it's like some crazy stuff happens. So, yeah, I'm gonna try to pull something from the other side. You know, why
Well,
not?
look at it this way. When you say it sounds like they're far away, they are in a sense. They're not coming because you had asked, what does it sound like audibly when they speak to me? And I said, it's
Mhm.
like they're right behind my ear
Yeah.
and they whisper.
Hmm.
So look at it this way. They're kind of standing off because they don't want to, just approach you.
Hmm.
They're standing off and you're saying, I can't understand you. So you can come closer and speak to me so I can hear you and
Hmm.
understand you.
Right.
So just know that there's nothing really off limits when we can sit there and think about it and wonder about it,
Hmm.
the rest of our lives, or we can actually do something about it and say, you can come nearer, but I don't want, to be scared. I just, just tell me what you're here for. Tell me who
Hmm.
you are and how I can communicate with you and why you're here. Do you have a
Hmm.
message for me or do you just want me to know that you're here with me? Because more than likely it is your guides, your angels, those people who've passed that want you to know
Hmm.
that you have your cheer team with you. So they're always there, but they're
Hmm.
not going to approach you. They're
Right.
not, going to be intrusive.
Right.
Okay, so
Exactly.
that's what a negative spirit would do. They're very intrusive. They try to scare you.
Mm.
They, try to take over. But someone who's staying just far enough that you can hear them, but you can't really make out what they're saying.
Hmm.
They're wanting you to say, come here just a
Right.
little closer
Hmm.
and let me get used to you.
Hmm. Yeah, because
Okay.
it seems so the sound that this voice or whatever it is coming through, it just sounds so foreign. You know, it sounds not like a human voice, but it sounds more like it's being talked like through like a piano or some sort of instrument. You know, it's
How
just like a
about like
weird
it's
sound. I don't know.
how about like it's being funneled?
Yeah, that could be a good description of that. It sounds it I don't know. I can't even explain it to you guys. I wish I could do a better job explaining that, but yeah, it's very strange, but I'm definitely going to continue doing that just to see, how far it goes and
Here's
what
what
I
I
Anytime.
can
see
get.
when you're saying that. I see, a paper towel holder
Mhm.
or the roll when the paper towels are off and you have that roll in the middle,
Mhm.
the cardboard roll, and you go up to someone and you're talking to them through that roll.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
muffled, it's
Yeah.
tunneled,
Mhm. Yeah.
And if you put more than one roll together, it's going to be even more muffled and tunneled. But that's what I see when you're talking about that.
Hmm.
So again, it's just muffled because it's coming through a tunnel.
Hmm. Yeah.
Is there
Okay.
So
anything
tell them,
that
come
he
on
can?
in.
Yeah, I was about to say, is there, I mean, can he suggest that they come a little closer, or is there something that he can do to get a little closer to them in that moment?
No, that you just say, okay, if you're here for my best and highest good, you can come a little closer and so I can hear you more clearly,
Right. Hmm.
but you can't scare me. You know, you can only do this when I ask you. Give
Hmm.
me a sign that you would recognize.
Hmm.
Um, you know, that is that will make you feel comfortable
Hmm.
and work with them because remember they're patient.
Right. Okay.
They have
Awesome.
all the time in the world or
Right.
the off
I'm
world.
sure. Yeah.
I love
But
it.
they want you to, because you're waking up, they want you to notice that they're there. And I get so strongly that they want you to get to know them.
Hmm. Sounds good.
All right.
I'll work on it.
Ashton said, after I saw the fall of Archangel Michael, like Lucifer's fall, but different, I heard a voice similar to what you described, say, Mike with sadness. I then spent the day releasing that energy, and the voice changed and said, "Thank you," and I felt a huge huge shift in energy. Wow,
Hmm.
isn't that crazy that some people just have like, man, just the most wild experiences, you know, like I think it is. Would you say that this is something that you know I've really put a lot of thought into and just really trying to figure out. Anytime somebody gets a message, maybe it even is from an angel or from God or anything like that. Are you inclined to believe that that message was for that particular person? You know, and not necessarily for the entire world, but it's for that person. Like, you ever feel like that?
Oh, definitely. If it's just for you, but here's how it works. It's kind of a ripple effect. So when we get a message, we'll tell someone else what we got.
Hmm.
And maybe that person needed to hear a part of that. And then that person tells someone else. So it's that ripple effect. Our messages, I don't feel, are meant um, not to be shouted from the rooftops, but they're not meant to just be kept to ourselves.
Hmm.
Because when we share it with someone else, that gives them the hope, you know, that, oh, wait, there are things outside of what we can see. It's a ripple.
Yeah, it's just a little subtle
So
reminder that they're not crazy if they experience something like that.
Yeah.
exactly. So like when you're having shows like this, it's letting other people hear somebody else's experiences and know that, oh, that happened to me. So now I know that, like you were saying, I'm not crazy, but it also will help somebody else.
That's a
So it just
perfect way
keeps
to put it.
going and going and going and going. And that's why, you know, I love shows like this because you get that truth out that if we didn't have, you know, the internet, it would be so so much harder to reach more people who are waking up now. And
Hmm.
people are waking up. That's why, you know, I love the internet. I love Zoom. I love, you know, all of the things that we can do on a larger scale because there's more people waking up. So we have to have a larger scale in order to reach.
And it does feel like it directly impacts a lot more people at mass scale because it's not a private conversation that we're having here. You know, of course, you got everybody here that is joining us here for the live show, but then it's going to go out to the airwaves and anybody that, I don't know, maybe they search a keyword and they have a question and, oh my God, Metamystics was talking about this. There was this awesome woman, Cassandra VanZant. She brought this up and you know what I mean?
Right.
And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, because it's unfortunate, but a lot of people are told to ignore their intuition, you know, and
Right.
that's just putting up a big old block. And I feel like it just is only going to make our lives so much more difficult because we need that sixth sense. Like that's how we're supposed to navigate. Like, I'm sorry, but tasting something is not going to help me determine what the future's like. You need that sixth sense a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love these conversations too.
Hmm.
Pete said, everyone is being visited by their guides in their dreams while I'm over here escaping underground facilities.
What?
Dreams got wild after I cut back on the herb. Yeah.
Yeah,
Dude, I've been hearing a lot of people, they're
definitely a
like
correlation.
meeting up in the mall and like these certain doorways and stuff like that. And almost everybody's having the same kind of dream. I'm like,
Oh, really?
man, yeah, like it's all over like TikTok and Instagram that I've been seeing that somebody will say, oh, yeah, it's like a certain room in the mall or something. And they're like, oh, yeah, I saw you there last week and I saw you there last week. And it's like,
Oh.
what the hell is happening? What do you think is going on whenever people are meeting each other in dreams at like a mass gathering event at a mall or at, some kind of room or something?
My first impression is I don't feel it's a mall. I feel that's what people can um, compare it to. I feel that people are going out of body. It's the collective consciousness that sees that and they're going into a space. But if they call it a mall or they disguise it like a mall, then it's not as scary. But I feel people are meeting there and they're getting whatever it is that they need to help other people, themselves, or to navigate something, and then they come back. So there's this group, we have these groups, and then we have the collective. So the collective is involved and the groups are involved. And whenever you say, you're meeting in a mall, look at it in a different light because I feel it's um, a place that has a lot of rooms in it, but I don't feel a mall. And people are going there to learn. It's almost like when I say, I seen myself as a young child on a ship, and I was in a classroom. So I feel that this is more or less classroom material. So people are learning.
Mhm.
Interesting. Yeah, they probably just can't figure out the proper term. It's just the closest they can get to it. That makes sense.
Mhm.
Britt said, "Oh, I've been at some facilities like that too in my dreams. I don't think they were underground, but who knows? A lot of very detailed scenery and super crazy stuff going on. What I've gotten from it is that like I'm remote viewing the area to maybe help others to find the locations to help the people there." Oh, that's
Or
good.
to get them out.
Yeah, yeah. Ashton said, I don't get them in my dreams only while I'm awake, even if I associate the dream as a message from them. Awesome. Britt said, that's cool, Ashton, that you don't have to be fully asleep to experience that. Yeah, man, everybody's hitting up the chat. I love it. This is like the most active the chat's ever been. Pete said, facts. I wake up thinking similar thoughts. Most recent one, I was being chased and hid in a vacant room and was able to see light from above and climb my way out. Ended up being in an incorporated area of LA where there are vacant industrial buildings. And that's the thing is like dreams.
So much to unpack there, I think.
Nobody has a real good grip as to what the hell dreams actually are. Like some people say, well, it's just dormant thoughts that are in your subconscious. And maybe it is a little bit of that. Some people say, well, you're going to another dimension. Probably is a little bit of that. Like, what do you think dreams are? Like, could it be a little bit of everything? If you had to, maybe make your best guess on that, Cassandra?
I feel dreams are when we leave our body every night, we travel to wherever it is that we're supposed to be. Because in the dream world, and I think I've said this before, our awake time is really the dream world. When we leave our body, that's real. So we have it asked backwards. But whatever it is that we are like this, all of us here, we're dreaming, and we're dreaming what we have made up. for our lives. We've said, I'm going to be this, this, and this. And then at a certain time, I'm going to be this. And then when we dream, we go to that real world and we can fly because that's what we can do. We're magical and we get around, we look at things differently, we see things differently. And then when we wake up, we think, wow, that was a strange dream, but it wasn't really a dream.
Yeah, that's something that I've really been thinking about too. Like I just really I think like people are so concerned about is the earth round? Is it flat? I'm like, who gives a shit? It's a dream anyway. Like who cares?
That's true, yeah.
You know?
It's a dream anyway, yes.
Yeah. I mean, it could be whatever you want it to be. Ashton said, if you have nightmares, I highly recommend sleeping with earbuds and listening to a deep sleep frequency that will play for 8 hours. For the first time for the first time in a while, I tried it again and it really helped. The first dream I got was I was watching the Earth 1 billion years ago and witnessed over 500 million years of evolution and how bacterial colonies evolved into fungi and animals separately, with the common ancestor being a mix between a sponge and a prototaxite.
That's a great dream.
Wow. Yeah, that was awesome.
I love that. I love that.
Ashton said, I had to research it when I woke up in the middle of the night, and science actually backs what I experienced in my dream, even though in that era of time, there is a quote unquote missing link. But what I dreamt of is one of the prevailing theories.
That's crazy. It's a gnosis
to it. Yeah.
You know?
Britt said, Pete, that makes me think of a dream where I got outside the building and saw a long white car and sensed there was something bad watching from there. There was a man there that was trying to help me escape under the tall chain link fencing that had barbed wire on top. I love dreams. They're the best. Ashton said, they said I can give you their name, but not how it's pronounced in their language. The name they gave me was J, and is that the Omega symbol? Kind of looks like it.
No, that's the number 5. So it's literally a letter and a number as we understand it, but they pronounce it as something else.
Oh,
interesting.
Kind of like how Elon named his son with the AE thing in there.
Oh, he's on one. He's on one.
He's definitely on one. And it's
that number is the golden ratio, which is 5. So I mean, it carries some weight to it. At least what I got.
5. Okay, I thought you said 5. Yeah, that makes sense. Where was I? Okay, there's a bunch of the chat's getting kind of confusing because every time somebody comments under a message, it brings me all the way back up to the original.
I've been trying
message.
to find out where you're at this whole time. Actually,
Super Marky said it's very interesting that the green came first, even more so that it was healing. Thank you for sharing. The true source, no counterfeits. I love it. That was referring to the light that you saw, Cassandra.
Oh, okay.
The healing tunnel.
Yeah.
I need a healing traffic jam in the tunnel.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just gonna stay in there for a minute.
Ashton said, real Cassandra, anything that can be named or given qualities to what was created, humanity conflates gods with source/one. Yeah, I would say so. Britt said, that is crazy, Sean, because I just 2 nights ago, I asked to see the energy of specific guides after I turned off the lights, and I could see different colors associated with each one I asked about. And I also saw some orb stuff and some like black figures moving in the peripheral vision that would make me jump a little, but I kept trying to calm my energy because I knew I shouldn't be scared, but it just took me off guard. I've had so many dreams that take place at a mall. Yeah.
I've never had the mall dream though, but yeah, it's important to try not to be scared because that'll just knock you right out of that whole state of mind. You know, and then you open your eyes and you're like, whoa. Then you try to go back and it's like, And you end up just falling asleep because you're tired, and that's it.
You can never go back to a dream that is actually good. You know what I mean? Like, it's always the bad ones where you're like, all right, let me stay up for 15 minutes and make sure maybe I can try and forget this. And then you fall
throw
back
on
asleep.
some Jeopardy
and you're like,
for a minute. You know what I mean?
dude, you fall back asleep. You're like, no, I thought I stayed up long enough for this. You know, just a total
I wanted
mindfuck.
to say something to the person that I said I felt it was a ghost, wherever they were. I just wanted to say to them, no, you don't be afraid. There's nothing to fear.
Fear not.
Okay.
Yes. Taylor said, someone around me likes to pop in and out of my vision. It startles me and I don't like it. So I'll stomp my foot and say, you aren't allowed to scare me. And I feel the energy shift to calm. It's never scary, but I just hate being startled. I love that I
Right.
learned that boundary and they respect it.
Yeah,
Right.
nothing like a good foot stomp.
I mean, you
to
make the
really
rules.
set the boundary. Yeah, that's it.
That's where this is our domain.
That's right.
Benjamin said, I work lawn maintenance at a cemetery as a side gig. Shit gets wild out there, I promise. I can imagine.
Oh.
Man. Ashton said, I had a vision like that of two gatherings that divided men and women, and each sex had to watch a movie that carried the same message, catered to how the sexes would receive it differently. I don't want to get into what movies actually were about, but they don't exist here. Whoa.
Interesting.
Man, I need to know like what you're eating and what you're drinking right before you go to
Right.
sleep, because
Yes.
these are awesome.
We need it all.
So I
Old
see
press
it's like
juicer.
What's that, Ashton?
Listen to from Crow 777. He did some episode about cold press juicing. That stuff is like goated.
Okay, yeah,
Wow.
that makes sense. Shout out to Crow 777, one of my favorite podcasts of all time. White Boy Wizard said, speaking of traveling whilst sleeping, who went down the Marshall? What the fuck is it? Oh, Marshall, the clone guy. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Keep reading. I thought of it.
What's that?
I said keep reading. I thought of it.
Oh,
It was,
Donald Marshall. Yeah.
Yeah, Donald Marshall.
That's right. Yeah. Who went down the Donald Marshall with the clone center's access during REM sleep? That dude peeled my skull back with a peeled my skull cap back with that rabbit hole. Yeah, dude, that whole Donald Marshall thing is wild. If anybody really wants to go down like a wild conspiracy, it's like, because he believes that he was cloned and he talks about all these other people that are cloned. What do you think about the whole clone situation? Because, man, you hear about, people being cloned and stuff like that. And then you start to see like, all right, is this just my mind just agreeing? And is this clone stuff really going on? What do you think is going on with that, Cassandra?
I think anything is possible. I have to, in my gut, I have to feel that it is true. I can't say no because it resonates with me.
Wow. All right. I mean, anything is possible, like Kevin Garnett once said. Nora said, normally I've always felt in tune with everything spiritual and astral, but lately I felt blocked by something that feels like a guide. Like I can't use my spiritual gifts or even get my small business off the ground. And for a long time now, I felt and known that something huge is coming my way and I've been working towards it. But lately with this block, when I ask outwards, why isn't this working yet? This guiding presence responds with not yet, not yet. I feel it feels like I've been waiting at a red light at an intersection when I see my destination right there.
Wow. Cassandra.
That's a Cassandra question.
We need some, yeah.
Yeah, sucks. I know. But when we are so anxious to get something done and we've seen it or we feel that this is coming to us, it's our job to sit back and relax and allow it to unfold. Because if you don't, what you're doing is you're putting up your own block in front of you. So if you can sit back and relax and say, okay, fine, I'm going to just let it unfold by itself. I know my business is supposed to be doing this or this or this, But right now I'm setting the foundation. Maybe, the people, places, or things aren't in place right now. So the universe has it for you, called perfect timing.
Mhm.
And if we can sit back and just release and say, okay, until this happens, I'm okay. Until this happens, I'll do what I'm supposed to do. But I know it's going to happen because I feel it.
Mhm.
When
Yeah.
we try to put the cart before the horse, it's anxiety that is causing that. It could be anxiety, it could be, well, I'm just excited. Well, you could be excited, but that excitement, when it doesn't come to reality, you get anxious because it's like, but it's supposed to happen. It's supposed to happen.
Mhm.
When you know it in your heart, know it in your heart, and know that you're okay right at this very moment, because when it does happen, it's going to be perfect. You can push it, but again, you want to do it the easy way or the hard way.
Mhm.
Mm.
Right.
So
Yeah, like
allow
there's
yourself just to, just, okay, fine. It's out of my hands, but I know it's going to happen. And keep that feeling, and keep um uh, seeing the vision. That's your job, is to see the vision, to know it's going to materialize. And until it does, do your thing.
yeah.
Do your
Keep
thing, boo
taking
boo.
the baby steps towards that, right?
Well,
I mean,
not
because
so
who
much baby
knows?
steps, because you know it's going to happen. What you take, what you take are your regular steps. Just keep doing your own thing, and know that that's there. You're not going to be at that stoplight forever.
Mhm.
And you can run a stoplight, but you know what's going to happen?
Right.
Inevitably there's a cop there,
Always a
and then
cop.
it's going to, push you back, 10 miles. So just sit there and know that you're in neutral and you're fine.
Right.
One thing
And
that
know
I've
too that, along the way you're still learning. You're
Oh
still,
yeah.
trying to advance, and there's things that maybe you need to learn first, that it's really going to be beneficial when that moment comes, when it's go time. You look
Right.
back and you're like, "Oh, wow. I'm really glad I stayed at that stoplight a little longer, because there's things that I learned and people that I met, that really made the rest of the journey so much easier and more enjoyable."
Right. There might have been just a piece of the puzzle. Like I said, a person, place, or thing
Mhm.
that hasn't been put into the equation yet. And once that happens, then boom, the floodgates open.
Right.
Yeah,
Perfect.
I've found, at least in my experience, just with both podcasts, that there is some sort of like absolute divine timing. And the best thing that you can do, like, because you don't want to just sit around and wait, like you want to keep on trying to refine it, and that way, whenever your business does take off, or whenever it does actually happen, you want to make sure you got, good, strong enough reins on it. That way it doesn't get out
Mhm.
of hand. It doesn't start going all crazy and everything. You know exactly what to do. You know what to do with your schedule and your daily rituals of waking up and going to sleep at a decent time. And like, there's so many things that are into like running your own business, that you almost got to be like ritualistic with like how, regular you are in your actions and everything like that, because whenever it does take off, you're going to have to be that way, or else it's just going to get out of hand.
Mhm.
Well,
um
most importantly, you have to have that solid foundation. You have that foundation, and how you build it is by learning how to build it,
Mhm.
and then how to maintain it, and then how to build upon it, and then so on and so on and so on. So you don't start a house from the roof down.
Mhm.
You start it from the foundation up. It doesn't mean that you're not learning anything, because you're still building, but you don't get to the completion until you've gone through the steps.
Right. Prime example too, you know, when people win the lottery and then they just run out of money really quick and all of a sudden they're broke and they can't afford the house that they bought and they're behind on taxes, and it's like because they didn't work their way towards having that ultimate end goal of having a bunch of money. You know, rich people learned how to be rich. You know, it wasn't they were just
Right.
rich all of a sudden.
Yeah, no doubt. Pete said, been getting signs of, oh, it just moved on me. Been getting signs of returning back to the present moment because I know it all works out at the end and what is for me will be for me. Gotta enjoy the now. That's like,
Totally.
most people don't want to be there because it's, you know, we're impatient. We want it now, you know? But yeah, that is the most important thing, for sure. Britt said, that is crazy, Sean, because just 2 nights ago, did I already read this?
Think so.
Yeah, I think so. Sorry about that. Nora said, thank you guys. I wanted to vocally thank you, but my hubs is playing Battlefield next to me. I thought this is something going on. Thank you. I really needed to hear this tonight. It's been frustrating, but I know I'll get to my vision one day. Keyword one day, not today, but someday.
That's right.
Hell yeah.
That's it. Just keep moving.
That's awesome. Wow, we finally got caught up. That was the most chat we've ever gotten.
Yeah.
They love you, Cassandra.
It was fun.
That's just what it is.
You're welcome.
And we kind of predicted that too, you know?
Yes,
Didn't I
you
tell you guys?
did. Yeah.
See?
Yeah. Well, yeah, this is amazing. I don't know how you're feeling. I know that some people kind of look forward to getting a message or so from you. Is
Dibs.
that White Boy was just said dibs. Are you feeling it tonight?
I'm always feeling it. But okay, I hate to do this, but are there like a lot of people in the chat?
10, not including us 3.
Okay. Because I if so there's 7 in the chat.
Well, no, there's 13 total and then 10 in the chat. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to
You don't have to feel obligated by it by any means.
no,
It's
I
just,
don't. I'm saying I don't know if I want to read everyone right now. Maybe I could take the first 3 that raise their hands.
Or
Quick,
just
quick,
whatever
quick, quick,
whatever
quick.
comes through.
all right. White Boy Wizard called dibs on 1. Pete. All right. White Boy Wizard, Pete, and Nora. We'll go with those 3.
Okay, so White Boy. Let's see what's going on with you. Let's see what's going on with you. What can you tell him right off the hand?
Just sitting here dirty after working 100 hours in the last 5 days.
Oh, is that all?
Yeah, it feels like it.
Lacking, dude.
Wow. If you feel worn out from working, I gotta let you know that a lot of things are coming your way right now. And when I say that, it's you know, we do our regular job, but there's something that's telling me there's something about you that's coming full circle. And when that comes up, it's because you're maturing and you know what it is that you want. They're talking about having fun, really going for something. Are you a fire sign by any chance?
I'm a crazy Aquarius.
Oh, you're Aquarius. Okay. A crazy one. Yeah. I agree. But I keep seeing all these things for you that are going to intensify, but in a fun way. So whatever you've been doing, like the drudgery of the 3D world, whatever you're doing, your mind is going, but I want this, and this. And I feel it's coming very, very quickly. So what is it, October? So November, December, January. You born in January?
On the 25th.
Okay. So look at November, December, and January that these things are going to start going. Let me ask you, is there something that you um, love to do and that you have to choose, or is there a relationship in this that you're choosing from? because they're telling me you have a choice to do something, and whatever that choice is, it's going to really set you on fire.
Yeah, I don't know. There's been a couple of developments over the last, couple months. There's bad divorce and relationship, not being able to see my son for the past little bit. That's about all to change. And then I've been, the drudgery, like you said. I came over to South Dakota at the beginning of the summer to help my brother finish a bunch of houses because I'm moving him and my sister and the nephews back over to the mountains to be with us. So we just had to bust out 3 houses in 3.5 months, and it has sucked. So everything's like, as soon as I'm done here at the end of this week, everything's gonna be
Yeah, you're going
bomb.
to be making choices, and these choices are for you. So you're going to be narcissistic right now, which is a good thing because this is where you need to be. And it's going to be happening between November, December, and January. So it's going
My
to be
it'll be
fun.
my it'll be my 40th birthday too, so I guess I better make it count.
That's really cherish that. Look at that as it's not a milestone, but look up what the number 4 means.
I'm sure it means gray hairs everywhere. Much love, Cassandra.
Thank you. Okay, who else?
All right, we got Pete. Pete, you show yourself, sir.
Yes, I need to see you.
Need to see some face in order to connect. If you feel like
All
it.
right, give me a sec.
All righty. All right, look, while Pete's setting up over there, let's go to Nora. Nora, would you mind showing
Nora.
I mean, we got the picture up. Is that enough?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's fine. Okay, Nora, the explorer. Love that one. Okay, what is it that Nora needs to know right at this very second? What is it that she needs to know? Wow, you got a lot of people in here who are transforming like you would not believe. Nora, is your birth month coming up, or did you just have it?
It was back at the end of July.
July. Interesting. Okay. Because at that time, what I get is you know how we go through a rebirth, and that usually happens at the end of, the 12-month cycle. So we have our birthday, we're rebirthing ourselves. Because when I see this, I'm feeling that you want to stop being the outsider and go out into like what I call the rainbow and see all the wonders, because there's something that's holding you back. And what I get is you're not receiving it. You're not saying, okay, this is what I want to do, but I either don't know how to do it or I don't want to because it scares you. So receive it, open up, because they're saying you are going to change in a radical way. But when I say that, I mean in a good way. So we're talking transformation is in your destiny. And in that destiny, I'm talking make it right now, because it should have happened in the summer. But something that holds you back, which is usually our ego, it's not just ourselves, it's our ego. So I see a heavy sigh, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, stop it and get going. Because it's going to be like life changing. When I see this, you're going into something new that maybe you feel that you weren't worthy of getting into, or that no one is going to give you the chance. But you're the one who's just standing there going, okay, fine, that's what I want. I want the rainbow, which the rainbow is um, possibilities. It's seeing, more vibrantly around you. So it's like a whole new thing is opening up for you, and all you have to do is say, okay, I'm ready.
Yes, ma'am. It's definitely been feeling like I explained to my husband the other night. It's I guess for like the past month, anything that I've planned, that I've wanted to do or needed to do. Normally, everything is, step by step, A to B to C. But for me, physical things keep happening or blockages. So it's not just point A, it's point A, part one, point A, part two, and then on and on.
Right.
So that's gotten a little frustrating. Is that me putting up
Yes.
psychic blockages? Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's the
That's
sage? I need some.
yeah, that's why they're saying all you have to do is open up and say, okay, fine, I'm ready. I'm ready for it. Because what you're doing is you're putting stipulations. You're saying, well, I can't do it until I do this, but then there's this little thing here, and then there's this little thing here, and this little thing here. So what you're doing is you're keeping yourself from moving forward. And a lot of that stems from our ego voice and saying, you can't do that. It's scary. You don't want to do that. And that's when you just say, you know what, just shut the hell up and I'm going to do it. What the hell? Because what you can do, let me just give you this, you can go for it. And if it doesn't work out, go back to the way you were. Takes the pressure off, huh?
Yeah,
So
definitely.
I receive. That's all you got to do. I receive.
I receive it.
There it is.
Yeah, there
Affirm
you
it.
go.
Awesome.
Okay. Who is next?
We got Pete.
Thank you, Cassandra.
Eat.
You're welcome, hon.
Pete.
Pete.
Here we go.
There you
I'm
are.
here.
Okay.
Made it.
Yay. All right, let's see what's going on with Pete. What is it that he needs to know? Right at this very, very second, Pete. Oh, you're just so, you got such good energy. It just coming through a little
Thank
bitty
you.
screen right here, but you have very good energy. I love that. What is it that he needs to know right now? Again? Wow. Ooh. Okay. Are we done now? So, bye. No, it's not that bad. Nothing's that bad. Okay. First of all, what they're telling me is that you're living in the past. So when you're living in the past, that means it's the coulda, shouldas, wouldas. And you never, ever want that because you have people around you that are holding you back. And these people that are holding you back have been in your life one way or the other. So, past lives, your relationships now, the people, you work with, whatever, they've been in your life and they're holding you back, and that's what they did before. So right at the moment, you need to look at them and just say it in your mind. I want you to visualize you're at a bowling alley and all those people are the pins, and you take the bowling ball and just make a strike, and everyone goes this way and that way. They just gave me that. So do that, because that way you're knocking out all the pins that are keeping you in the past. And you're doing it in one little roll. Okay. And you're a very good bowler. So you have a strike right then and there. Because what's happening is it's causing you a lot of stress. And this stress is like other people are trying to control you. And they're saying, no, I want you to do this and this and this. You don't have a monkey on your back. You have a monkey that's directing you in your life. So whatever it is that is holding you back, or whoever or whomsoever, that's where I want you to take that bowling ball, because it's also okay. So this stress, these people that are holding you back, it's because you have to get rid of the guilt. Okay. So do not allow whatever has happened, what, could have happened, what should have happened, how you should treat someone, because they're your mother or your sister or your brother or whatever. All these people are part of your past life. Do not feel guilty about nurturing yourself. And that's the biggest thing right now, because they're saying it's going to take a little bit of time for you to get used to being you and living for yourself. So when I say a little bit of time, I'm talking like, 6 to 9 months at the most. It all depends on you and how you look at this and say no more, because you're coming into your own. And when they say that, it's like you're your own creator. You're the one who is saying, okay, if I didn't have all these people, circumstances around me that are telling me how to live my life, that are giving me, making me feel guilt-ridden, that keep me in the past. If I didn't have all those people around me, what would I be doing? Think about that, because they say you have a very big creative streak in you, and you need to get that out. And the minute you get that out, then that's the last piece of the puzzle for you, and you will be complete.
Just pulls it,
Boom.
Boom.
just
Yeah.
pulls it out of thin air like that. That is crazy.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, ma'am.
Cool
Yeah, it's
beans.
wild because when I was younger, I would always tell myself guilt is like a useless emotion, it'll just hold you back. So I
Now
guess
you're older
I
and
have
you
to
still
keep
have
saying it to
it.
myself. Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. Your younger self knew. Now your older self needs to listen to your younger self, or to me, or to whoever, and say it's stupid to hold yourself back. Number one, it's a waste of energy when you could be using that energy for that creative part of you. And people can take care of themselves. So stop being a caretaker. It's not your job. You may have big shoulders, but that doesn't mean everyone has to hang over them. Okay?
Yeah, that's true. Because lately I've taken on the role of a protector. So I feel like since I'm big, I'm like big energy. I'm able to take that role in, but I do
That's
feel like I
not your
hold myself
job.
back from being myself and like venturing out into the world.
Yeah. I mean, are you a bodyguard by profession? No.
Oh no.
Okay. So
But
it's
I'm a nurse, so that comes with like taking care of people too. So I'm
right.
like, but I do feel like I have to venture out and share who I am with others too.
Oh, yeah. And when you do, like when I first looked at you, it's like I could feel that energy, that good energy, but it's like you have a chain on you.
Hmm.
So you try to move, but then the chain pulls you back. And the chain is whoever or whatever that, listen to this, you are allowing to keep you back.
Hmm.
So think about that. You're allowing it. And you don't, that's not your job. You don't have to be someone's protector. They can learn how to protect themselves. You can give them the skills,
That's
whatever.
true. That's
But
true.
you have your life to live, and it's not to live for someone else when they can do it themselves.
Facts. Yeah,
Get
that's
out
true.
and grow. I give you permission. Go for it.
Boom, let's go. Let's
All
go.
Yeah.
right. That's
Let
Great
good.
me know how it
message.
works out.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
You're welcome.
Awesome. Cassandra, you are on fire tonight. I
She
love it.
doesn't miss. She doesn't
Don't.
Oh,
miss.
I'm assuming you two want a little something, something here.
Why not? Yeah, you can go Sean
Okay.
first.
I mean, we're here, you know.
Well, yeah. Okay, so what is it that Jonathan needs to know right this very, 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 very minute? Whew.
She goes, "Oh my god."
No, I just
Too
get
much.
so much activity right now for you. I see a whirlwind, to tell you the truth, and that's not a bad thing. It's not a tornado, it's not a hurricane, it's a whirlwind. Um, oh, really? Okay.
I'm nervous. I don't know why.
No, you shouldn't be nervous. It's just when I'm looking at this, going with the flow. Okay, it's okay, you said you just moved, right? To Phoenix. So you
Right outside of, well, like 3 hours away from Phoenix, but Arizona. Yeah.
so but you what's the word I want to say? You just picked up everything and off you go.
Yep.
Okay. And was that because of a situation?
I mean, it was primarily for money. Like I plan on going back to Texas. This is more of a temporary thing.
You think so, huh?
I mean, I wish it could be longer, but yeah, I got it. I have to get back.
Okay. All right. What I'm picking up for you is the crumbling down is bringing you more power. So you moved out to Arizona, and this has to do with your move because they're telling me that you could stay where you were, but you wanted to move the energy. And yeah, you came out here looking for a better job or whatever you want to tell yourself, but you came out here for new energy. So when you do that, it means that you're going to be sharing you, your gift, your words, whatever, with other people. And you're going to be doing it in a way that it's like you're throwing your riches at them. So that's your knowledge. And I don't feel you're out there just for a job. So there are people that are you're going to connect with if you haven't already started that come into your life and you immediately recognize them or feel that resonance. That's the universe's way of saying these are the people that are going to help you and they're going to help you celebrate. So what are you going to be celebrating? You're going to be celebrating life, and you're going to know that you, as you stand, are just as good as everybody else because you're the one who gives others their breakthroughs. And that's a major gift. Think of these people that are coming into your life. Did you find that better job?
Oh, well,
Talking to you.
well, I guess no, I didn't necessarily come out here for a better job. I mean, I podcast for a living. It was more so, like I said, it was more of a money kind of situation. My parents have a guest house that they're allowing me to stay in for a little while so that I can kind of get caught up, and I'm planning on saving up for a house because I'm tired of paying rent, and so it's kind of like an in between thing where, it's I'm definitely putting some space between myself and everything else, at the moment. But yeah, just I guess while I'm out here, I'm primarily just going to be working a lot, and I am planning on going. Like we're planning on taking a trip out to Sedona, which is going to be awesome. But yeah, for the most part, it's just working.
Look at this face. Okay. Now, there's more to it. There's a lot more to it. So again, you can tell yourself whatever you want. I just came out here to save up money, but I'm telling you that this temporary relocation is because you're going to be coming into contact with your tribe.
That makes sense.
And that's going to start something much bigger. I get the
Okay.
song. It's so funny. I love how they do this. You might be too young, but it's like rolling, rolling, rolling. Keep those doggies rolling.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah.
it's you know what I'm talking about? It's like you gotta just keep your rolling. And you don't realize it, but that's what they're doing.
I thought you were about to bust out Limp Bizkit right there for a second, but
I would sing, but only if everyone else would join me. But anyway.
yeah. Well, that's something interesting to think about. And to be honest, I kind of knew that there was something extra about coming out here, that it wasn't necessarily just to, save up money and get back to, reality. Because there are certain, meetups that I will be doing while I'm out here that I wouldn't have otherwise had the opportunity to do, unless I came out here.
just in case you want to know, maybe you can look into it later, but just as Cassandra said about finding your tribe, I was shuffling the cards and the chariot card came up. So if you want to look that up later, that's,
That
Very
it
means
popped
well.
up
you're
right when she said that. So
you don't know what the chariot is?
not offhand,
We're still learning.
Okay. Okay. Um, let's get you, Sean. Okay, what is it that Sean needs to know right this very minute? Otherwise, I still see you in a suit. But
I'll just
I don't
start
know what that
podcasting in a suit, maybe that, and see where that goes,
I don't know where I don't know. Okay, so what is it that Sean needs to know right this very moment? I get that you're kind of holding yourself back also.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Uh-huh. Okay. um when you're holding yourself back, I want you to know that that's not by anyone else's hand. That's by
Mm-hmm.
your hand. It's like you've tied ropes on yourself and you're saying, I'm free, but you're not.
Mm-hmm.
So it's because, do you realize how different you are than like the other? Like if we have a herd of sheep, you're
Mm-hmm.
not a sheep, you're a lion.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't feel that you realize how different you are.
Mm-hmm.
And that I feel is what's holding you back right now. Because the things that you're looking at in life, you're looking at them like, oh, okay, well, I know what normal is, quote unquote normal,
Mm-hmm.
but they're asking you to look beyond normal
Mm-hmm.
and start out like you are a kid, footloose and fancy free, and you're seeing things for the first time as they really are. And
Mm-hmm.
that starts with you. So you're seeing yourself for who you really are. You're not a sheep, you're a lion. And you need to get out of that um, mentality. So you are going to stand out. And I think that there's something about you that doesn't like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm surprised that you show yourself on the podcast,
Mm-hmm.
but you have Jonathan here, so that helps you.
Yeah.
But I feel that you're going to be integrating everything about you, body, mind, spirit, and that's going to make you grow more, and you're going to be seeing more things that you can do.
Mm-hmm.
So when you see more things that you can do, then that transforms you from the inside out.
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing I would suggest is to, take the ropes off of you. Know that you're a lion, that lions are proud. They walk in a pride, but they're very, a lion. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
they have a great ego.
Mm-hmm.
So it's transforming you from the inside out. You're going to look at things totally, totally different.
Mm-hmm.
This is really interesting. Are you feeling uncomfortable when I'm talking to you about it?
No, I mean, of course, there's going to be a sense of that because this is a very vulnerable space. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I feel like anybody would feel a little bit of something there,
Huh?
and so I think a lot of the discomfort, I think lately comes from having to speak on things that I feel like deep down that I'm no better than anybody else, and I know that for a fact. Like I know that in my heart that I'm no better than any of you, and some of the things that I would like to speak on confidently, sometimes I feel like, oh, well, everybody already knows that, so who am I to be this guy that thinks he knows? I think some of it comes from that, and then I have a little bit of, well, not a little bit, but a lot of skepticism to me, especially lately, just because I've been trying to look at things fresh, and so
Mhm.
I'm always trying to talk things away, like in my own mind. Whenever I do have these mystical experiences, I know that something's happening. But then there's always that little bit of, well, maybe there's something in my mind that's allowing me to have that experience because we just spoke about this topic and I was thinking about this. And so then of course I'm going to have something that correlates. And so I'm really, sometimes I can be a little too analytical when it comes to certain things. So yeah, that's where that's coming from, I think.
It's almost like when you're talking, I hear, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'm usually not. I hear,
She's not wrong, probably.
usually not, let's put it that way. I hear the word fake, like
Hmm.
you don't want to be a fake.
Right. Yeah. Wow. Cassandra, stop it. You're too
Okay.
much sometimes.
Okay, so
Hmm. No, that's right on.
that word right there is what's keeping you back.
Hmm.
It has nothing to do with you saying, I'm not better than anyone. That
Hmm.
has nothing to do with anything. We're all equal in our own way.
Hmm.
But when you say, but if I go out there, they'll think I'm a fake, or I'm thinking I'm a fake.
Hmm.
And, they're going to see that. And that's a vulnerable spot.
Hmm.
But it's like when I was first started giving readings and I would get so nervous. It's like, I don't know how to do this. What if
Hmm.
I'm wrong? What
Right.
happens? Until my guide said this one sentence to me,
Hmm.
and it just shut that shit down.
Hmm.
Okay. They said it's not coming from you.
Hmm.
So how can it be fake?
Right.
How can you be making this up?
Hmm.
And I went, oh, that's right. It isn't
Right.
coming from me.
Right. Hmm.
So think about that.
Hmm.
Whatever it is that you're doing, get out of your head, get into your heart, because your head, your ego's going to take over. They're going to say, hell, they're going to know you're fake. You think you're better than them. You can't do
Hmm.
this. You're one of the sheep,
Hmm.
but you're not. You're totally different.
That's pretty spot on. I love that. Wow.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I'm
So
impressed.
again, stop it.
All right.
By the way, I just drew a tarot for you, just returning the favor for
Oh,
that.
did you?
And
Okay.
the card correlates. It's a Knight of Swords, which says that you need to be more assertive.
Okay.
So,
All right. All right. I will.
Just remember, it's not you yourself. It's coming from outside of you. So everything inside comes out,
Hmm.
and then you can't be fake if that's happening.
Hmm.
So you don't have to worry about how people see you. All you're doing is speaking your truth.
Hmm.
That's
I
it.
love it. Thank you. Thank you. That
So
was great.
just take those, chains away from you. You're speaking
Mhm.
your truth. We all are who we are, and you're not fake.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate that.
well
You're
said.
welcome.
I love it. Ashton, what are your thoughts, sir?
I was going to see if Cassandra was able to do a reading for me. I would really appreciate it tonight.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand that.
If you would do a reading for me, I would really appreciate it.
Oh, sure. Can I see you?
Yeah.
There you are. Hi there.
All right.
Gotta pull that phone back from your face, homie.
Yeah.
Doesn't Ashton look like Andrew Garfield a little bit?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I used to hear that at my first job
I actually
when
think it
those
is.
movies came out. Because I
Nice.
had the haircut like he did too, like the big spiky hair.
I mean, he's a handsome man.
Well,
That's not a bad thing.
Yeah, dude.
no,
guess.
Own
no.
that.
It's interesting because I see you as a very, very old soul.
Oh no.
So you have
Oh no.
a lot of wisdom inside of you. Um, it's interesting. Okay, because did you say, Jonathan, the Knight of Swords
Yeah, that was the card
for
that came up.
Sean?
Yep.
Okay. Um, when I see you, Ashton, I see you as an old soul, and I see you as a knight. It's so weird. I'm just looking at you right now and seeing you. I don't see the horse, but I see you as a knight. Okay, so I don't know what you get out of that, but I just had to tell you. Okay, so let's see
Okay.
what's going on with you. What does Ashton need to know? Do you have any connection or lineage in like England,
Not
United
really.
Kingdom?
No, more Germanic, Dutch, Irish. My brother
Really?
says he did some research and he claims we're descended from the Crusaders Knights. I didn't
Oh,
resonate with that, and my genealogy research didn't lead me to the same conclusion. So we were just going off old documents at that point, where none of it
okay,
really is
okay.
concrete.
Stop. That's what I'm talking about. I
Okay,
see you like that. Okay. So you just confirmed it. Very
maybe,
powerful here. Did you say maybe?
yeah.
Cassandra's never
Okay.
wrong. You fucked up by questioning her already.
I think we're done now. Okay.
No, I just it's something I haven't accepted yet.
Okay. Your loss. Okay.
Thank you.
Um, you have a lot of things going on in your mind right now that are holding you back. And when I see this, it's like firecrackers going off. So you don't just it's like you go along and then all of a sudden, boom, a firecracker goes off. So that's a problem. That's a worry. And it's like keeping you wrapped up. And I feel that they want you to have a healing or you need to be healed. So it's either body, mind, spirit, or body. There's something there that is telling me once you open up and allow the universe to help, then you won't have all these firecrackers going off in your head. Because when I see this, it's like worry after worry after worry after worry. And sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. Um, you also are looking at life right now as this is the way it's supposed to be. And they don't want you to see it like that. They want you to see what you can become. So never settle is what they're saying. Don't think that, okay, this is it. This is all there is to it, because it isn't. You're getting ready to it's like they've been preparing you or you've been preparing yourself to say, okay, I'm ready for it. I'm going to just let go. I'm tired of this or this or this. And when I do it, people are going to look at me and think that I am like the biggest jerk because I want to do it my way. It's like I am this rebel. So bring out your inner rebel is what I get.
Yeah, I mean, that's resonating a lot. And when you elaborated on the rest of what you were saying, the night stuff just came right back to me like, oh, that's why she said that. I was like,
Mhm.
yeah, it totally clicked right there. I have one question. Is there anything in the type of help I should give to myself, or is that something I need to find on my own?
Ask. Ask
Okay.
where you should go. Have them lead you to the correct place, because no, it's not something you can do on your own. It's just something that needs to be cleared up. And again, body, mind, spirit, or body, or all three. In fact, they all three go together. But this healing needs to take place to get rid of the firecrackers. So I'm just looking at this like you just have worries, little worries going off in your brain. It just goes, um, life's going good, and then all of a sudden, boom, and you're like, oh, crap. And then life goes good, and you get another one. So it's never like smooth
Yeah, it's
sailing.
very accurate. That's too accurate.
It's never smooth sailing. It's up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down.
Yeah, it's like a big sine wave.
Yeah, and it gets to be tiring.
Yeah.
That's why when you can say, I'm tired of this, whatever I'm going through, and I'm ready to look at life differently, then that's when you bust out. And I don't feel that is, if you just ask the universe, show me, lead me, guide me to where I'm supposed to be, or who can help me, they will. Just say it and say thank you, and then allow this to happen. It's going to make a big difference in your life.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for that. That really helped tonight.
You're welcome.
Awesome. Cassandra just doesn't miss. I love it.
No, dude.
Well,
Why we love her.
Bro, I've been here since the beginning, and I cannot tell you the excitement that I get every night, or the few times that we've had her. When you're like, "It's Cassandra night," I'm like, "Fuck yeah!"
it's the best. Because it's like what to expect a little bit. You know what kind of conversation to expect, but you never know what's going to come out. And it's always something that because I'm not going to lie, whenever you speak, it's not like necessarily, at least for me, it's not like I'm hearing it for the first time. It's almost like you're trying to help us remember a little bit. It's like a lot of these things are, maybe should be more inherent than they are. And so I don't know. It's very resonant. I'll say that.
That's okay, because what happens if I have to say it over and over again, it's okay, because when you're ready to accept it and hear it, then it will click. That's how it works. When I went through my first divorce, I number them now, but when I went through my first divorce, my friend kept saying, you might want to get an attorney. And she'd say it all the time. And I'd go, uh-huh. And then one day I said, guess what? And she said, what? And I said, I need an attorney. And she said, mm-hmm. And then later, of course, we laughed about it. She goes, I knew you'd hear it when you were supposed to. And I'm like, yeah, I guess I did. Took a while, but once I heard it, it had been there. So at least it wasn't like it was ingraining in me without me knowing it. But I wasn't ready to hear it right at that moment. But when it became a truth for me, the light bulb.
Yeah, we can be stubborn, quite stubborn.
Yeah.
Leave it to us to get in our own way.
I know.
It's kind of the vibe tonight.
We're the biggest
Go figure, huh?
Right.
I know it. Sean, do you want to pull a card for the entire show, sir?
Yeah, and it makes sense. We got the Wheel of Fortune, considering we all let go and quit getting in our own way, let the fortune come.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Spin the wheel and take your chances.
That's it.
The Wheel of Fortune. Here, I'll just read it for the class. It's the 10th card on the Fool's Journey, or the 10th place on the Fool's Journey. It says, the Wheel of Fortune is always turning, illustrating that each moment is temporary and that life is cyclical, not linear. Surrender to the present, which kind of resonates with what we were talking about earlier. The Wheel of Fortune card allows you to gain a deeper understanding of life's cycles of changes. Its imagery has mystical, astrological, and occult symbolism, showing that many of the forces influencing our lives are mysterious and invisible. The wheel appears to float through the clouds, indicating that our spiritual path is connected to the physical realm. The creatures in the clouds are zodiac signs: Aquarius for air, Scorpio for water, Taurus for earth, and Leo for fire. They represent the stable forces that uphold the wheel itself. Beneath the wheel is Anubis, the Egyptian god of the dead, who represents life, death, and rebirth. The Sphinx sits at the top of the wheel, a multifaceted creature representing the diversity of life. The downward-facing snake is symbolic of life's challenges everyone must face. All of the creatures and symbols rotate around the wheel, teaching us that life has its ups and downs in an ever-changing cycle. We all must embrace the temporary nature of the moment. Change is the only true constant.
Love it.
Good message.
Love it, man.
Yeah, it says, fate is currently leading you forward on your path. You are moving from a painful cycle to a more harmonious one with a new understanding and faith. You trust in the process of life, the cycles of death and rebirth, meeting new people, and embracing new situations that have entered your life.
Something like I told you, huh?
You're spot on,
I was
Cassandra.
trying to hide behind the book. I don't know if you noticed that, but this was awesome. What a great time. It's just, you feel it mystically in the air a little bit every time, every live show that we do, but especially whenever Cassandra's here, it's just magical every time.
Oh yeah, dude. I love it.
If you could, Cassandra, for anybody that wants to be able to reach out to you, maybe for a reading, they just want to be able to reach out to you, ask you a question, or just check out what you're up to, how would they go about doing so?
Well, you can email me at CassandraVanZant@outlook.com. You can look me up and what I can help you with at CassandraVanZant.com. Did I say that? No, I said outlook.com to email me, .com to find out about me. And you can reach out. There's a phone number on there. I really encourage you to text me because I will not answer the phone if I don't recognize your number. But I'm available.
Awesome. All right. We're going to have those links down in the show notes for anybody who wants to be able to reach out to Cassandra. I mean, every single reading was spot on tonight. And I would imagine that everybody's reading that does reach out to her would feel the same exact way. So it's always very personal. It's always very, it's uncomfortable and comfortable at the same time.
Yeah, dude. It's almost scary how spot on Cassandra is. You know what I'm saying? It's like she's looking right through you.
I know.
The vibe I'm getting.
I like it. So thank you so much for joining us tonight, Cassandra. We're going to get over to the meditation. Sean, any parting words for you, sir?
Oh man, this was a fun episode, man. I'm glad everybody that got a reading, got a message that was very resonant, and it's always a good time having Cassandra on. Thank you so much. This was a blast.
Thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely.
Of course.
We'll get you back on a lot more often. Sorry about the 6-month buffer.
We're not going to do 6 months again.
We had a little shadow work to go through.
Okay.
Well, look, anybody that wants to be able to join the live show next week, come over to patreon.com/metamystics. That link is down in the show notes below. We have several different tiers, but if you sign up for the Wonder Wednesday tier, you'll get access to all the shows days in advance, completely commercial-free episodes. You'll be able to see all the video, and you'll be able to join us every Wednesday night for the live show. And it's always a very surprise guest. You've heard him before. Sometimes it's a surprise guest. Sometimes it's just a surprise topic. Join in on the conversation or just be a fly on the wall. We invite you to come and hang out with us. We're just trying to build this a little bit. You're not crazy. The world is. All right. That's just the truth about the matter. So
you can't be normal in a crazy world, man.
No, it's not.
That's what I've heard.
Not possible. And also for anybody that's listening to this, you appreciate this kind of stuff, it would be really helpful if you would leave a 5-star review and maybe leave also a review if you could, a message or anything, whether you like it, you don't like it. It all helps the algorithm. So we really appreciate everybody that does that. But yeah, other than that, I think we're going to get over to the meditation. And I guess with that being said, if Cassandra VanZant came here and she taught you anything, it's that you don't know what you don't know. So don't just get weird.
Stay weird.
All right. Anything crazy, Sean?
Nothing crazy, but it is interesting how much easier it is to see the version of yourself that's possible in that space. Not the version of yourself when you hold yourself back or your ego is telling you this and that and blah blah blah, but when you go into that space, it's like, oh, it's that remembering. It's like, oh, okay, this is where I come from. Yeah, wherever that is, whatever space that is, it's like, oh, okay, so everything's kind of just made up in my own mind, and every obstacle and everything that I think I can't do is up to me,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny because I started seeing like a tornado looking situation, and then I was like, wait, didn't she say
whirlwind?
Whirlwind? And I didn't even think about it until it was like I was seeing it in my mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it just kind of reminded me of like some of the, I don't know, barriers or boundaries or whatever that we put up for ourselves. And it just reminded me of like, if you think about something that's going around so fast, you know, if you're on the outside of that tornado or that twister or that whirlwind or whatever, you're not getting in because it's just going to kick you right out, you know?
Yeah.
And that's what it kind of reminded me of. I was just, you know, it was more of like a, you know, just surrender to the whole thing. And I was thinking, like, I was reading up on that chariot card because you pulled the chariot for me, right?
Dude, the only reason why I even told you about it was just the fashion in which it popped out. Because she's like, "Oh, you're gonna find your tribe," pow, and that thing just popped right out. I was like, "Whoa!"
Yeah,
let 'em know.
it's so weird because it says you're ready to take your spiritual practice to the next level, which means you're gaining momentum in life. Based on your intention of moving forward, you can utilize your spiritual practice to guide you to the next phases of your life with confidence. And I was thinking about it, like, so it's about inspired action. Then it goes on to say that, like, it's okay to, like, act with confidence because you're being protected by your guides along the way or whatever, right? And, like, don't be worried to take another step and don't worry about a fall or anything because, you know, outside force has got you, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, you know, I really do try and control way too much of my own damn life. Like, that's something that, you know, and just trying to get into, like, a mind of a kid is not worried about that kind of shit.
No.
You know, it's like, and most of the time kids are all right. You know, they usually make it out, you know?
Yeah.
So there has to be some kind of guiding forces that are outside of vision and outside of time that, you know, are unseen and unheard, you know, for the most part. And some people can tap into that a little bit more than others. Cassandra,
Yeah.
I don't know how she does it still.
Yeah, no.
But it's like, you know, at a certain point, it's like, man, you know, we have very limited, we're limited as to what we can do and what we can see. And it's actually kind of comforting knowing that there is something that is kind of, you know, making this whole thing flow in a certain direction, whatever that may be.
I like to look at that and think of just the potential. You know, I feel like if we are infinite beings, you know, the potential is just infinite. And so I don't know, I feel like there's things that we decide not to do. You know, let's say, "Oh, you know, I'm not going to try that because it's too scary or I'm not good enough or I don't know if I would be good at that," or whatever it is. It's like, "Oh, that's just an obstacle that I put there." You know? And so then if I put it there, then I can remove it and then walk through that door. And it's like, man, I don't know, just what she was saying was just like so enlightening.
She's
You know,
on
and then, you know what's really interesting too about that is when you hear something that intuitively or even subconsciously or even consciously you already know, but someone else is telling you and it's like, "Oh, okay. Now I can take it seriously." You know, there's something to that, I think.
So I guess that means that Sean is taking the reins on the next episode. Is that what that sounds like?
Oh God. I mean, sure. I mean, I just got to put the research together, you know, I got to get up and be ready for work at 5. Like I got to leave the house at 5 in the morning. Not looking forward to that. So,
well, that's just tomorrow though.
Yeah. Don't even worry about that's the imagination. Don't even worry about tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know, tomorrow never comes anyways. So
I mean,
it's always today.
It's always today. Yeah.
It's always now. It's always now. You know?
Yeah. Man, I just love her so much. She's awesome. I don't know why we went so long without reaching out to her.
And you know what's funny too about that is I think I thought about trying to get her on and then you just told me about it and I was like, "Oh shit." Like, I don't know, it's like that divine timing, you know? Excuse me. Like it was always supposed to happen. Sometimes that happens. I feel like when we have episodes and certain topics, it's like, how is that? How does that work? Why is it that you'll bring up a topic and I'm like, fuck, I've been thinking about that for the last 2 days. You know, it's like,
well, you know, what is that? What's interesting too is that I asked you a couple of months ago. I was like, "Hey, I'm thinking about, you know, trying to get, you know, one of the psychic women on the show." And, and I was like, "Would you rather talk with Shannon or Cassandra tonight?" And you were like, I think it's a Shannon night tonight." And I was like, "All right, that's what we're going to go with." And then, you know, I was like, well, we're not going to reach out to Shannon again. We just talked to her not that long ago. And, and because I don't know, there's something about like people who are so spiritually in touch that just makes you believe that you can do it.
Well, you get to see them in action and you see them not second guessing themselves. you know. And I feel like that's the biggest thing. The biggest, at least in my experience, I feel like is just the second guessing too much.
I know.
You know, and then you just kind of sit there and you're more stagnant. And you're like, you know, no matter what it is, whether it's just an idea or could that be the way that things really work, and you're just kind of festering and you're contemplating, and then you second guess it, and then you kind of just stick it under the rug and just leave it there for a little while. You know, it's like, and then it doesn't go anywhere. So, you know, we got to stop doing that. Or I do. That's for sure.
I just
According to Cassandra.
I always feel like I got to be doing something. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I'm wasting time if I'm not making decisions.
Yeah.
And man, that really gets me in fucking pickles all the time. So that's not a good idea either. But yeah, that was awesome, dude. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us tonight. It was awesome seeing your faces.
Thanks for staying for the meditation. This was great, man. The chat was just going, dude. I was lost in there. I've never even had to experience that many chats. You know what I mean? So I was like, what's going on? I'm new. I don't know what to do.
Dude,
you know?
That was like reading the Cult Live chats. Like, that's how many chats. I was like, holy shit. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
But yeah. All right, guys. Well, I guess we'll see you next Wednesday. See you on the flip side.
Bye, guys.